One of the best new moons of 2025 is here for us to help us manifest beautiful new dreams in our life. Yes, it's the new moon in Cancer. I have the whole scoop for you. So join me as we discuss a little astrology and dive in with the tarot. So welcome to the channel, or welcome back. So awesome to see you here. The new moon in Cancer clocks in at 6:32 a.m. on June 25th, which is a Wednesday. And it is a beautiful new moon because it is conjunct Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of gifts, goodies, and blessings. I've done a whole video on Jupiter's transit of Cancer. I'll leave a link to it in the description of the video in case you haven't seen it yet. But yes, Jupiter is conjunct the sun and moon at this new moon in Cancer. So it is giving us the faith, enthusiasm, fuel, energy, excitement to start something new in our life. Okay, that is what new moons are all about, setting new intentions, especially in the Cancer area of your chart. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, which means it is extra powerful. Jupiter is all about, also in Cancer, fertility, planting seeds that we do water and grow with our energy and enthusiasm and belief. So this is a freaking potent new moon. This new moon is squaring Saturn and Neptune in Aries, okay? However, what I think this is suggesting is absolutely like, get the plans in motion. This is time to plant seeds. Squares are tense energy, it's frictions. Squares are like an itch you gotta scratch in astrology. It gives us a boot in the butt. All of us collectively. Like, it is like, do this now. Stop waiting around. So Saturn in Aries, yes, it's about kind of like the boot camp of the soul, getting serious. Neptune, same thing. It's like, what does my soul really want? What am I gonna fight for? Aries. So, and then the square is like, okay, like, why are we continuing to faff about? Like, let's get this show on the road. So this is great. This is supercharged energy to do just that. So I'm going to dive in with the tarot for each of the signs. Watch for your rising sign first and then the sun sign, because I will break this out by houses. Combine what resonates for you in both rising and sun sign, and you have about as personal a reading as you can get here on YouTube. My calendar is open if you need personal one-on-one information. The link is in the description to book a reading with me. All right, timestamps in the description also. Let's get into it. All right, Aries, let's see what you need to know about this new moon in Cancer, setting some intentions for the new, planting seeds for growth in your life. Now, Cancer is your fourth house of home, family, roots, what nourishes you, what feeds you. Fourth house is also very much a private house. It's your personal life. It's not for public consumption. It's your interior world also. So with Saturn and Neptune also in your sign right now, squaring this new moon, it can be a lot about going within, looking within, having a serious conversation with yourself and saying, you know what? I have to really plant new seeds in this area of my life so that I can actualize some personal goals that are really near and dear to my heart, that are private to me. Maybe eventually they get shared for public consumption, but right now there's something about your inner world that needs a deeper commitment from you. Okay, so let's see. Now, of course, this can also be something that you're going to be doing with your home life as well. And as I said in your solstice reading, which I just filmed, and also the Jupiter reading, I will not be surprised if by the time the Jupiter and Cancer transit is over, a lot of Aries have moved out, moved along, moved on, and have new or improved living situations. Okay, so let us see what you need to know. But I feel like this one's a little more personal is what I am feeling because of the square to Saturn and Neptune in your sign. It's like planting a seed to realize a very important personal dream. Chariot, Six of Wands, wow. and the Ace of Coins, okay? This is probably something about your career, okay? Here's the big seed, here's the Ace of Coins here. So there could be something where you would really like some more rapid acceleration, Chariot, and or a new path, a victorious new path with your career. Or again, if that doesn't apply to you for whatever reason, then something that's very personal to you. You want it to take off. You want it to like get going, vroom, vroom. Also, Six of Wands here. You want to feel successful at it. Even Chariot's a success card. This is very much about your own personal efforts though, and you being in control and in charge of this. But this is the time. And I also feel the universe is bringing you a resource very soon to do this. Ace of Coins. Maybe it's coming in Virgo season. It's possible. Maybe it's coming at the end of July, Leo season. The Six of Wands here in about 6 weeks. That's possible also. So you do have a choice ahead of you, this Chariot, in terms of, which is the better growth path for you. And that's only going to be figured out by you by taking this moment in the dark of the new moon in Cancer to sit with yourself and have that private conversation with yourself and say, what is really valuable to me? What is going to give me the most growth, optimism, expansion, and perhaps public visibility if this is about your career? You want to feel proud of yourself. Not that you don't feel proud of yourself now, but there's something new where you want that success. You want that visibility. You want to feel really good. Like, wow, I did that. I freaking did that. So it can be just something that's very personal to you, which is, the pat on the back, I did it. Or it could be something for public consumption. But this is very good, and we have the big seed planting here. The Six of Wands also could be that you may be returning at least to one path. You may be thinking about returning, going back to a place, maybe where you lived before. You could be thinking about returning to something you did before with your career or in the public. I'm not saying you should do that, but you might be thinking about that. You might be thinking of reigniting a former successful connection when it comes to a place of living or a career employment scenario. So, but there's some choices. What I would say here with the Chariot, haste makes waste, and we Aries very impatient, right? So there's something here for you, like you're going to get there. But this is not something you need to rush either. It's more like you need to really tune in. And if we look at the Chariot as an exploration energy, same thing with the Six of Wands. It's like, it's the inner exploration, the inner work, the inner questions before you plant the seed that is going to really help the acceleration after the seed gets planted. All right, Taurus, new moon in Cancer in your 3rd house of the mind, communications, writing, teaching, speaking, networking, sales. So you could have a mindset reset with this new moon about something that you want to start in these areas. With Saturn and Neptune kind of in your 12th house of the behind the scenes, this is about shifting, limiting beliefs, letting go of your past as well. So that has a flavor component to this new moon for you. This is not about same old, same old. This is about moving in a new direction that can free you from your past. But it is a lot about you making that conscious decision, that commitment to do so. Okay, let's see what we have. Okay, we have a 9 of Cups, beautiful. And the 5 of Swords. And the 9 of Swords. Okay. All right, so I'm not rolling my eyes at you. I'm rolling my eyes at these lovely cards. Okay, but hey, we read what comes out. I mean, this is the way it is. All right, so you do have a very strong appetite, a wish fulfillment situation going on here, 9 of Cups. And this is very much tuned in with the Jupiter energy. As I said in the prologue to this video, big wish energy, big manifestation energy, making your dreams into reality. However, we have 2 unfortunate energies here, the 5 of Swords and the 9 of Swords, which I call daytime and nighttime anxiety. So Jupiter is about faith. That is the thing. It's not, of course, that Jupiter can't be intellectual. Of course it can, because it is a teacher energy. It's a learning energy as well. But we're talking about dreams here, 9 of Cups. We're talking about happiness, being so fulfilled and your cup is running over. It's great. But the block here, the energy to be alert to, is this anxiety. And Jupiter's not about that. Jupiter's about enthusiasm, belief, expansion, growth, and positivity. So, and with Saturn and Neptune in that 12th house of yours, it's stirring up this 5 and 9 of Swords. It's the 12th house, the house of self-undoing, and of course, things that are needing to be karmically released. So this is the thing. Can you set an intention at this new moon in Cancer to have more faith and belief and staying aligned with positive expectation and emotional expectation, rather than getting sucked into the 5 and 9 of Swords of anxiety, which we know pushes away manifestations? This is the question. Can you believe it and then you'll see it? Or are you like, no, I have to see it and then I'll believe it, which is causing the anxiety. So this is the question. This is the thing to be alert to. Tarot always gives us advice to what to be alert to, etc. Be alert to ways that your own stress levels affect manifestations coming into your reality. And if you can trust and be optimistic with a little more Jupiterian energy with your mindset, that would help. What can help in this regard is scripting. Okay, if you can write down scenarios as if they've already happened and really feel into them with full emotion and start training your thoughts that way, it can really help. It's a very positive manifestation tool. So that is what I would say to this. Like, you can make a very, very, very desired wish come true for yourself in the next 6 months. I mean, we work from a new moon to a full moon. The full moon in Cancer is in 6 months. So you could make that happen for yourself. Keep an eye on this. All right, Gemini, you have Jupiter conjunct a new moon in your 2nd house of moolah. Show me the money. Of course, it's squaring Saturn and Neptune in your 11th house of personal gains. So, okay. You probably are in a major money manifestation mode. You want money, but you want the big money, not just, not just nickel and dimes. You want the big money. But the thing here is to be very cautious and reasonable, because Jupiter can sometimes blow a little hot air. Of course, it can. So it's a fine balance between having that optimism, but not counting chickens before they're hatched, or making commitments to something before you have the money in your hand. It can be a lot about budgeting and pacing here with this energy. Okay, so let's see what we need to know. So it is time to make some sort of, new moon intention with how you can expand your financial inflow, how you can manifest more money, but not in a get rich quick scheme. That can sometimes be Jupiter too, but in a way that honors your gifts and talents, and that is measured, Saturn in the 11th house, and grows over time. There may be something here to set an intention to learn more about money and how to make it, how to manage it. So that if a big sum is coming to you soon, let's hope, fingers crossed, you'll know how to manage it. Also, the 2nd house is about your values. So with Jupiter there, you could really be valuing things that are Cancerian in nature, which is about home and family, home comforts, things like that. And your personal wishes, Saturn, Neptune, are about achieving those types of dreams and having them stay solid in your life, Saturn, Neptune. Okay, so let's see what we need to know here for you, Gemini. All right, we have a 10 of Swords. And we have an 8 of Coins. And we have a Libra. Okay. So I feel here is that some of you are going to be setting some intentions to never end up in a financial situation that may have gotten you in a pickle before, okay? So 10 of Swords, you could have gotten stuck, blocked, or come to the end of a line in a very unfortunate circumstance with your finances. But the dawn of the new day is here. And this new moon in your second house with Jupiter could be the start of a whole new beginning for you to recover financially, especially if you've had this 10 of Swords scenario go on for you. So we have the Virgo, we have you back to work, you're at your desk. This is also your fourth house of home and family, the Virgo energy. So, I mean, you're there. You're ready to roll up your shirt sleeves, put in the work, pay attention to the details, do what you need to do to lock this in. And this justice, this is, of course, your Libra, your fifth house, which is a lot about taking a calculated risk. And it can be about your creativity, your creative energy. It's the house of the entrepreneur. Some of you may be deciding to start some sort of side hustle for yourself. Some of you may be deciding to do some legal paperwork related to home and family. Maybe you're going to start investing. I mean, consult with somebody. This is not financial advice. Consult with somebody, get a signed contract. Maybe there's some legal things you're going to be doing to solidify your finances in some way through investments or estate plannings, like these types of things. These are just examples. So what I'm feeling here with the Virgo and the Libra, it's like you're getting down to business. You're going to be super serious with these intentions you're setting so that history does not repeat yourself and you don't find yourself in a financial pickle ever again. You are like super serious. Whatever's coming in through your efforts, 8 of Coins, you want it to be balanced and manageable. Okay, and you want it to work for you. So this is very good. And also with the Justice here, if you are involved with someone, you have a partner, you're contemplating marriage, if this applies to you, you're going to make sure that you are also legally protected. Because maybe you recently had a financial problem because of a divorce or some other legal issue. So once burned, twice shy. You are not going to go and make same mistakes. Not that you made mistakes. It's all a learning process. And maybe it wasn't your fault. So I don't mean to imply anything by that, Gemini. So understand what I'm saying here. But we can take it out on ourselves. We can be like, oh, I made a big mistake. No, you made the best decision you could at the time with the information you had, right? But this time around, you're like, I don't want to ever feel that way again. I don't want to ever get myself in that situation again. So I'm going to plan. I'm going to use legal means. I'm going to figure this out. And there you are sitting at the computer. I just want to see that. There's a component here of research as well to help you manage finances and help you manifest more money. So Cancers, this is your personal new moon for the year ahead. We get one new moon, one full moon. Every sign does for the year. And it's conjunct Jupiter. I mean, this is so awesome for you. So this is in your first house, of course. This is all about you and how do you want to expand and grow. And it is squaring Saturn and Neptune in your 10th house of career. So it can be about, do I want to expand and grow in a new career direction? What would be the best commitment for me to make? Or is it time to retire? Is it time to shift gears? Is it time to become self-employed? Do something else? These are all questions. Saturn's about commitments. Neptune can be about, creativity. It can be about what your soul is learning and yearning for. All right, so let's see what you need to know. Cancers, let us see. So remember, square energy, as I said in the intro to this video, is motivational. It's friction, so it's like, yeah, I better do something about this. Virgo, the Hermit, and the King of Coins, and the Ten of Pentacles. Okay. So, of course, a new moon is good for 6 months until your full moon, which will be happening in Capricorn season, of course, which we got double Capricorn going on here. So this is a time for you at your new moon to be introspective. the Hermit, to tune in with spirit, to have a conversation with yourself, because that is your third house, and say, all right, you know, how do I need to shift my mindset? How do I need to make some decisions that are going to bring me to greater prosperity, that are going to maybe help me solidify something financially, like with property or family? This could be retirement also. It just depends on your situation. But the Ten of Coins, you know, is inheritances, family properties, big money, the conclusion of some sort of financial arrangement. The King of Coins, being very prudent, managing resources. Virgo energy is a lot about managing resources also. So this is about setting an intention for you of your identity and what you have been doing for your money, for finances, or maybe the role you've been playing as the head of the family with finances. That's possible too, with the King and the 10 showing up here. And what spiritual shifts or changes need to be made for the longer term. Okay, and longer term is going to depend on your personal situation. So you might be like, you know what? I'm nowhere near ready to retire. I don't want to. You know, my identity is I want to continue to learn, expand, and grow. I have so much more I still want to do with my career. Saturn's in your 10th house now, so a lot of you are reaching a pinnacle point with your career over the next 3 years where there can be rewards, kudos, yes, possibly increased responsibilities, but also recognition, awards, that type of thing. So some of you are like, yeah, I'm not ready to you know, finish yet with my career. But some of you may be like, I got to do it in a different way, or it's going to need to make me more money. And maybe that's going to necessitate some sort of career change. It's all about your identity and what's suitable for you. But also there could be things to look at with your third house of mindset, with the Virgo showing up here of, you know, am I thinking too small? Jupiter's in your sign. It's about expansion and growth. So that's the energy to focus in on at this new moon in your sign, expansion and growth, and what your spirit needs in order for long-term financial growth. It's both things together. It's not just about the money. It's not just about spirit. It's both being aligned. And Leos, Jupiter is transiting your 12th house right now of things hidden behind the scenes. When Jupiter's in our 12th house, it's very much a protective energy. This new moon is in this 12th house, conjunct Jupiter. So this is an energy of really a fresh start, of clearing out the old karmic patterns, things that have been holding you back. It can really be about listening to your intuition and divine guidance, and expanding, which is very Jupiter, along the lines of intuitive timing and not forcing things. And Jupiter is associated with the 9th house in astrology. It rules Sagittarius, which is the 9th house. Your 9th house is Aries, of course, but your 9th house is where Saturn and Neptune are right now, and it's your house of expansion. So what this is saying to me is really wait until something feels intuitively right with the timing before you commit to it, and really listen to spirit, the signs, the synchronicities, the information you're getting. And that's the new moon intention to set, that you are open to karmic releases, new beginnings that are very divinely protected. But you're not going to force anything. You're not going to force it. Okay. You know what I'm saying? We all can do that. It's not specific to Leo, but that's what I'm feeling here. All right, let's see. And also kind of the vibe I'm getting too, I'm getting a vibe that it's about a bigger dream for you. It's about a whole new karmic chapter you're going to begin. So setting an intention with that in mind also. All right. Oh, there's the Aries, the Emperor. Wow. And the Ace of Swords. Oh, but here's this. Okay. Okay. So Aries energy, very headstrong, very my way or the highway, like, you know, I decree this, therefore it is so. Ace of Swords, making a very clear executive decision about your life. But the Aries energy is very headstrong. It's very strong-willed, and there's nothing wrong with that. But then we have this devil, which is not great, toxic, codependent, bad habits. This is what I feel. I feel like you want some sort of new growth and a new chapter in your life where maybe you do have more independence, autonomy. Maybe you have more acknowledgement, recognition, other types of opportunities where people are seeing you as a leader. Could be things like that. And you will get those. The Ace of Swords is here. But the Swords is about your mindset. And it is about, as I was saying, cutting out any of these self-sabotage tendencies that you're going to force into something that is either not for you or the timing's not right. Okay? So that is what I would say to this, because Emperor can be very stubborn also. So cut loose any tendency to self-sabotage and not have the faith. I mean, the other thing could be too, is to set the intention at this new moon that you're going to have a lot more faith in your own abilities, if you've been feeling like you haven't lately. Emperor, more faith in your strength, especially your mental strength here with the Ace of Swords showing up, more faith in your decision-making, what's possible for you, and not slip back into bad habits and bad things of I can't do this or whatever. And have that faith and hope and belief that you can do it with Spirit's help and the help of divine aligned timing and action. So that's what I feel. This is the issue. And the other thing too here is this Capricorn energy is your 6th house of work and well-being. So it could be connected with these energies. Like you are going to be getting away from a toxic boss, if that's your situation. You are going to be overcoming and finding a new healer in your life who's going to take charge of your situation and actually provide care rather than just string you along, the devil card, and not give you the necessary treatments or remedies. So, but it is about the patience and the timing. And then when the universe brings that, you cut the cord, Ace of Swords, but you don't force a premature cord cutting because you're headstrong and impatient. All right, Virgos, let's see what you need to know. You have this beautiful new moon conjunct Jupiter in your 11th house of hopes and wishes and dreams. I mean, this is huge. This is the dream house. Jupiter's about expansion, dreams, manifesting. So awesome. We have Saturn and Neptune in your 8th house of transformation. So this is about, I think, investing your energy, your mindset, your intentions into the biggest dream of your life that you can imagine right now, that you really want to commit to. It will require a lot of personal transformation, Saturn, Neptune in that 8th house. But it could be the making of you. There's something here. Also, South Node is going through your sign, which, you're releasing things that are no longer serving you, are no longer fertile in your life, are no longer beneficial. It's all tied together. And the release, of course, as we know, of things that are dragging us down or no good, opens us up for all the new stuff that is good that is coming in. So, all right, let's see what you need to know. Virgo. Beautiful. The Empress. This devil. He just appeared in Leo. Oh, but a 3 of Cups. Okay. All right. This is what I feel. Some of you, this is about setting an intention to align with more flow, ease, and joy. That's the transformation. Not that you can't be joyful. Of course you can be. But sometimes every sign has its side that is not optimal. Every sign does. And that's how this devil is showing up here. This devil is showing up as the non-optimal Virgo traits of overcriticism, fear, doubt, whatever, judging, But then we have the beautiful traits that are showing up here with the Empress, right? The flow, the nurturing, the growth, the fertility, the Three of Cups, the joy that you feel when you're really aligned with that beautiful Empress energy. So that's what I feel we have going on here. Like this big wish and transformation can come for you, but don't hold yourself back from that because you're doubting, critical, or overanalyzing to get into analysis paralysis. Jupiter is a lot about faith and belief and flow, which is what we're getting with the Empress and the Three of Cups. So I think you're going to have a joyful new beginning very soon in your life. I would say in the next 3 months. Remember, this new moon is a 6-month period. New moon, Cancer new moon, all the way to the Cancer full moon in December. So the tendency here, the thing to watch is this devil energy. Now, here's another way to look at this energy. You are in a blossoming period, the Empress and the Three of Cups. Like you are focused in on your own joy. You're focused in on things that you can do creatively, things that you can do for your finances, the wishes you want to manifest, all the beautiful energies of the Empress. But there could be people around you that are not serious, that are not on the same page, and that are more about even the Three of Cups negative influence because it's next to the devil. So if you're serious about growth and prosperity and manifesting all good things, and I'm talking also because we have this Saturn-Neptune in your 8th house of transformation and the South Node in your sign, then it's time for you to look squarely at people who, it doesn't mean you have to be mean or, to them or whatever, but maybe they're holding you back a little because maybe they drink too much. I mean, Three of Cups, maybe they party too much. Maybe that's the vibe. There's nothing wrong with having joy and a good time, but are they partying or are they those types of like really fake friends that are just behind your back secretly talking? There's a devil here. Or are they keeping you stuck? I mean, we are the company we keep. That's the other thing, Are there some people or company you keep situations that are really a drag on your dreams? Like if and when you manifest this growth, this harmony, this fertility, this new money coming in, whatever it is that you're wanting, this big dream that you're manifesting, are they really going to be joyful for you? Or it's going to be like, the frenemy situation, and then they talk behind your back. So look at that. Look at that energy. There may be things here, because this new moon's in your 11th house. It's also about networks and friendships. It may be that you want more genuine friendships in your life, not the superficial ones where it's just like go out and party. That's all well and good in its context. But you're growing in new ways. You're transforming and expanding in new ways. And you want relationships in your life that are going to support that. All right, Libras. So we have a new moon in Cancer, conjunct gift goodies, jolly Jupiter in your 10th house of career. So this is the time to set a new intention for growth with your career, whatever that means for you. Growth, expansion, education, learning, teaching, all of that's very Jupiter. You have Saturn and Neptune in your 7th house of other people. So there could be some new business partnerships, business alliances, etc. coming into your life, especially maybe in a creative sense with the Neptune there. If you don't have a career, this then is about you setting an intention to share your gifts, Jupiter, your joy, your abilities with the world in some other capacity, whether it's volunteering, whether it's teaching. You could also be setting an intention to travel, to expand your horizons in some way. Okay. All right, let's see. Libras, Two of Wands, and a Knight of Wands. And the Tower. All right, the Tower. All right, I think what might be happening for you, Jupiter is very much connected with travel. Here we have the Tower, Uranus, which is going into your 9th house of travel, Gemini, on July 7th. We have the Two of Wands, the Knight of Wands. I would say in 2 months, like in Leo's season, there might be a very surprising opportunity for you to travel, connected with your career in some way. A new moon, forecast goes really for 6 months until the following full moon in the sign. So from now until December. There's something that gets sparked here with this Tower energy. Unexpected, it comes in very fast. You've actually been kind of manifesting it. You see with the Two of Wands. Maybe you've been in conversation about it already. So it could be a travel, like you go for a job interview. You actually drive there or fly there or something to meet up with the people to see if it fits for you. There could also be, if it's not a travel, it could be some other learning opportunity, but it's something you need to move fast on. Like you're not going to have the leisure of time to decide. It's going to be yes or no, are you in or not? But it might catch you off guard a little bit with this Uranus. It has a surprise twist to it, but it could really move you forward very quickly toward a career goal. Especially if one's been kind of hanging around since maybe Aries season. So since April, maybe it's something you've been kind of waiting on something, or, wanting something to materialize that's already been in process, something like that. So, because your ruling planet, Venus, was retrograde in April. So this may be something maybe coming back around connected with April, I'm feeling. Okay, so this is very, very positive. So what I would say here is to set an intention to, at this Capricorn new moon, to be ready to move quickly, move on your toes, like shift on a dime here, to take advantage of any surprise opportunity that really aligns with you and that could open up a really big door, this Two of Wands, that could lead to a whole new path. And for some of you, yeah, maybe it's not a career, a new job or something. Maybe it's an education, it's a training, it's a networking opportunity. It's something like that that is the key to propel you forward very quickly. So apply the energies to your life. But this is very nice. And for those of you who work like in some sort of travel industry also, there could be something that really surprisingly comes in for your career. It doesn't matter what you do for travel. Like you don't have to literally work on a plane. You could be doing social media marketing. You could be doing, writing for travel, or maybe you sell suitcases. I don't know, but something travel oriented. There could be something very surprisingly that takes off, an opportunity for you. So set the intention that you will be ready and open to say yes to unexpected opportunities that are very aligned for you in this regard. And that includes being open to some sort of spontaneous travel opportunity, especially for any Libras, who are retired, don't have a career right now. There may be a spur of the moment trip coming. I would say Leo season. All right, Scorpio, beautiful new moon in Cancer, conjunct Jupiter. In your 9th house of travel, Jupiter rules travel. So travel could be on your brain about expansion, growth, learning. Jupiter rules your 2nd house, Sagittarius. So you could be like, how do I get the money to go on a little trip? How do I get the money to pay for that astrology class I want to take online? So it's about setting the intentions of expanding your horizons. You have Saturn and Neptune in your 6th house of work and well-being. So it may also be about learning new ways, expanding your horizons for things that support your well-being. Maybe you want to learn how to do yoga, as an example, right? Maybe you want to take a class that will help you in your day-to-day work in some way. Or maybe you just need a break from work and need a little trip. So it could be that too. Let us see what you need to know, Scorpio. Oh, we have a 2 of Cups. And we have the Sagittarius energy. And we have your energy. Okay. So you could be having some sort of very important conversation with somebody close to you about rebalancing your life and your energy. You need a break. You could be also going on a trip with someone, maybe, and you're not paying for it all. Like somebody else needs to pay their fair share. There's temperance, the balance. You could be discussing some sort of spiritual retreat and setting an intention to have a spiritual retreat, go on a spiritual retreat, or travel. There's an energy of nurturing and emotional change, connecting. This could be connecting with another person, but it could also be connecting with another side of yourself that has gotten lost lately because you've been so busy with work or something like that. So some of you really need at least a 2-day break. You need a 2-day regroup, recoup, little time away. Maybe 2 weeks if you can. Not everybody can. All right. But what's also saying to me too, with the Saturn, Neptune in your 6th house of work, you need to pace yourself. There is a balance here, okay, with this Temperance. You don't want to get out of balance, out of whack, and then your well-being suffers. So this is not just, oh, let me take 2 days off to take 2 days off. No, this is to replenish your soul, to rebalance, right? So I would say set this intention at this new moon in Cancer that for the next 6 months, maybe all the way to Sagittarius season, there might be 2 opportunities or 2 trips that you're going to be doing, or 2 timeouts, whatever language you want to use for your well-being. Because we always start with a new moon and take it for the 6 months till we get to the full moon in the corresponding sign, which full moon in Cancer would be happening in December. Okay, so it might be that you take a trip by yourself and you take one with somebody else. That's another possibility here too. But this is not just a trip like, oh, I'm going to go sightsee. I mean, maybe it is, but I think there's something here more about replenishing and rebalancing. It's more about relaxation, regrouping. And I would also say, because your energy is coming up here and with the Temperance, she's even standing in a puddle here. We got some water showing up here. There's something connected. At least one of these trips probably should be near the ocean. Okay, near or a lake or something, a beautiful body of water, so that you can just listen to the water lapping at the dock and just, chillax. Okay, so you need some sort of time out to rebalance and regroup. And, this Jupiter energy, it could be that you're going to make some important decisions during that time out that, will impact your next year ahead too. While Jupiter is in Cancer, you maybe just need a little time to have that introspection with yourself, because Jupiter rules your 2nd house of values. So you may feel like things are starting to shift in your life, like things that used to be important aren't, but you haven't had time to really kind of check in with yourself. That's what I'm saying. Like, you need this because you're going to be going in a different direction and expanding in a different direction. So you need that time to just check in with yourself. Sagittarius, your ruling planet, Jupiter conjunct this new moon in Cancer, which is your 8th house of other people's money, sex, death, taxes, shared resources, physical, mental, emotional, and psychological transformation. So this is all about the deep growth that you personally want to invest your energy into, since your ruling planet is involved. Now, we have Saturn and Neptune in your 5th house of your heart space, Aries. So this is the new moon to set an intention for what really matters. Bottom line, end of the day. Okay. What do you want to manifest from now until the full moon in Cancer in December? We work with that 6-month window of time from the new to the full moon. How do you want to transform your life in terms of something that is deeply important to your heart space? Ace of Coins, baby. And the Queen of Coins. We're getting your 2nd house of money and values here, the Capricorn, and the 4 of Cups. Okay, this is my favorite card of all time, because I hope you can see it. Her sweatshirt says over it. I love this. I love it. Whoever created this deck was genius. Love this so much. So here is the thing. you don't want to get yourself in another situation where you are over it, where you're sitting there like, oh, please, like this is ridiculous. So this new moon is a good time to zero in on what you want this big fertile seed to be that you're going to focus your intention on so that the universe can bring you the right thing. I mean, does the universe make mistakes? I don't really think so, but okay, so you don't want to have another over it scenario in your life. So that's what I feel is going on here. And the Capricorn energy, I think this is something that's going to be really happening the next 4 months. If I look at this card first, the next 4 months, maybe you might be a little in an over it period, or the next 4 weeks, maybe all through Cancer season, you're kind of like, yeah, I am over this. How do I get out of this? Like, well, you use the set the intentions at this new moon in Cancer to get out of this over it so that you can focus on the right thing and the universe can bring it to you. It is about your values. It's about your passion, your heart space. And it can be about money goals. Absolutely. Like there can be something going on there where you want a fresh start financially, especially in terms of other people's money, your investments. That's all very 8th house. Insurance payouts, inheritances, all of these types of things. The money you get paid from your employer, I look at that as also 8th house. So some of you too, you're setting the intention like, you know, if you're not liking your current position for whatever reason, you're over it. You want to get out of there. So you want that transformation. You are ready to transform into something that is more aligned with your values and more aligned with your passions. So some of you are doing that as well. So this is a great time to check in with these energies that plant that big seed of intention and get aligned with what the universe would like to bring you. Capricorn, big new moon, conjunct Jupiter in your 7th house of other people, business and personal. 7th house can also kind of be like the way other people are seeing you, the energy you're radiating out. 1st house is yourself, but the 7th house can be how they're experiencing you. So it can be that you want to set an intention to have people experience you in a way that is, more expansive, maybe more as a teacher, mentor, wise person, teacher, educator, writer, communicator, spiritual, justice seeker, whatever, fill in the blank. We have Saturn, Neptune, very close, not exactly conjunct, but in your 4th house of your inner private world. So this can be about how things are shifting within you. You have new hopes and dreams and new things you want to do. How do I translate that to the outer world? How do I project that to the outer world and get it going for myself and have other people start responding to me in that way? So that is the key, I think, for you, Capricorn. Now, for Capricorns looking for romance, some of you may also be setting an intention to meet somebody who is marriage material, Jupiter. And you don't have to want to get married, but I say marriage material in terms of somebody who, values a commitment, because that's what you're valuing right now with your ruling planet and Neptune in that 4th house. You want somebody who's spiritually aligned for you. So it can be that too if you're looking for a relationship. So setting an intention for somebody whose values match yours and whose also spiritual world is congruent with your own. Yeah, 10 of Swords. And a 10 of Wands. Okay. Oh, and the Tower. Okay, so this is very interesting. I think there's going to be a major surprising incident that is going to get you out of some sort of major year to 10-year cycle of, I'm trying to think of a polite way to say this, a funky energy, let's just say that, where, yeah, you were stuck You were betrayed. You had your head buried in work, and that was all there was. And there's nothing wrong with work, of course not. But I think there's going to be a surprising shift in how people are responding to you, and new people that are going to be coming in with the Tower. Uranus is going into your 6th house. This is Uranus energy on July 7th, work and well-being. If you have felt isolated and shut off from the world, these double 10s, that cycle is over. It's ending. That's not good for your well-being. These are not good cards for your well-being, obviously. So there is a surprising shift here into energies that are much better for your well-being as well. And I think it kicks off in July. So that is the new moon intention that I would set here, Capricorn, is to be open to mind-blowing, surprising, serendipitous encounters, connections. We're talking about your 7th house of other people that could really shift you out of a very long cycle of feeling cut off from others, very heavily burdened and stuck. Okay. But as a Capricorn, unless you have other things going on in your chart, Capricorns do tend to be lone wolves and a little more private. And there's nothing wrong with that. Of course not. Nothing wrong with that. But you do crave connection. Your 7th house is Cancer after all. So, but the issue is that it's not any old connections. You need connections that are on the same page. And that is the thing. And I think that this new moon in Cancer can absolutely help you manifest that if you set that intention. Whether it's business or personal, I want connections that are going to help me expand and grow, Jupiter, and that are not going to keep me stuck in the same old patterns or behaviors or scenarios that I really have had enough of. So let's see. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how this might manifest for you. Aquarius, we have a new moon in your 6th house of work and well-being, conjunct Jupiter. This is a great energy for setting an intention to get a new healer for your life, whatever the healer you need, and or some sort of mentor to help you learn and grow in your job. Or set an intention, I'm going to learn more so I can achieve more in my work. Get a certificate, get a degree, whatever it may be. You have Saturn, Neptune in your 3rd house of writing, speaking, teaching, networking, sales, communications, contracts, commitments of that type. So there may be things going on with that as well, connected with this 6th house energy, making decisions to commit to a new daily habit and routine, 3rd and 6th house, to heal yourself, to take time out every day to go for a walk or whatever it is. Maybe set an intention to be serious, Saturn, 3rd house, with your mind that you're going to learn something new. You see where we're going with this. That would help you in your work. Or even with your well-being. Maybe you're going to learn about nutrition so that, you support your well-being better. All right, let's see what you need to know. Aquarius. 7 of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. Wow, and the Ace of Wands, gorgeous. So new moons have an energetic window, just a regular new moon of 6 months from the new moon now until the full moon, 6 months from now, in Capricorn season. So we have you in a state of evaluation, 7 of Coins. You're looking at this little tree, but you're watering this one over here. So this suggests to me that you have something else you would like to maybe prioritize and focus on in your life, either with your work or well-being. Maybe you have gotten something somewhat stabilized. Maybe you have an okay job right now that's somewhat stable, money's coming in. Maybe you've stabilized some sort of health situation. Maybe you have a couple things going on. We got one under control. Okay, good. But now it's like, okay, I probably do need to focus. Here's the focus on this other situation. This is under control, but this, what am I doing? I'm not even looking at it. I'm kind of half-assing it. I'm putting a little water on it, but I'm not talking to it nice or feeding it good thoughts. And, talk to your plants. It's very helpful for them to grow. But it's really about the attention. giving it the focused attention. So I think you're going to set an intention, maybe in Leo season with this Ace of Wands here, of you're going to shift your focus to something that needs your attention so it can grow. It may be financial related, whatever it may be for you. And you're going to make great strides and progress in 6 months by the time we get to the full moon in Cancer. So I would say at this full moon, at this new moon, be honest with what else needs your attention right now. And set the intention that you will full focus for 6 months on this thing to achieve a beautiful new result. Thumbs up. We got this. Also think of it with this plant here, the green thumb. You could be planting a very strong seed to get this little 2 of coins plant as big as this one or even bigger if you would just give it some time and attention. Okay? So these are very, very positive energies. And some of you too, wands are about our physical body. Some of you too, it's like, yeah, I want to start a whole new health regimen with this new moon in your 6th house. But Jupiter is there. So Jupiter is really about knowledge and learning, among other things. So get hooked up with the right professional is what I would suggest. The right mentor, the right information, whatever that means for you, that can get your physical well-being back on track. That will be very, very helpful for you. Okay, not medical advice. You do you. And Pisces, a beautiful new moon in Cancer in your 5th house of love, romance, creativity, taking a risk, taking a chance, pleasure, flow, heart space. You got Jupiter there. Oh my goodness. You have Saturn and Neptune, your ruling planet, in your 2nd house of values, though. This is all about your heart space. And yes, that can mean romance for some of you, of course. Of course. It can mean something to do with your children, or manifesting a pregnancy, or supporting somebody who's about to have your grandchild, or, whatever. It could be nurturing and starting a whole new creative life, a creative project that you want to build for yourself. It could be literally growing a garden. It could be whatever you feel is important for you that you want to make a commitment to. But it's a commitment from joy. That's your 5th house, from flow, from happiness. It's not about forcing yourself to do something. It's like, no, I'm setting the intention to invest my life force energy into that because it fills my heart so much. It's almost to the point of bursting. That's Jupiter, right? It fills me with so much expansive joy. Like I can't help but feel so excited. I got a smile on my face, share it with people. That's the energy. All right, let's see what you need to know. Pisces. Yeah. What is this 5 of Cups going on here? And then we have a 10 of Cups. And we have the Lovers. Okay, I'm going to read this a couple of different ways. As I say, apply the energies to your life. So some of you, this is very clear. Some of you, this is about, you know what? I'm still a little sad about some relationship that didn't work out. Probably a romance. Didn't work out. I'm going to set the intention to manifest a partner, and not just any old partner, but one that I can really build a happy life with. There may be blended families things going on here. Okay, if that applies to you. Okay. But that's what's going on here. Now, some of you, there may also be something where you're going to set an intention to reconcile with a family member, especially a child or a grandchild. Okay, because of the 5th house. So there could be something like that going on. That could be very healing, if that applies to you. Some of you, the other issue here is maybe there have been some disappointments in where you're living. Or maybe something you've been doing for work. We have like a more of a city atmosphere in the background here. So some of you, you're done with city life. And some of you are going to set an intention that your pleasure, your rainbow of happiness is to be found in a different location. You may have two in mind already with the Gemini showing up here. Gemini is your 4th house of home and family. Some of you are going to set an intention you want to move closer to your children. Will this happen immediately? Maybe, maybe not. It's just about setting intentions. This is what this reading is about. The forecast period is from now, this new moon, until the full moon in Cancer, which is in 6 months. So we have the number 6 here. In 6 months, you could find yourself living in a much more supportive environment, either closer to your kids or grandkids, or just out of a city you're not vibing with anymore. And because you're moving to a place that's a lot more happy for you and probably not a city, you might also meet somebody. Lovers, you could meet somebody you could have a relationship with if you're looking for that. So whatever we have going on here, it's about moving from regrets and sadness and setting the intention, like, I can still feel this. Like, we don't deny our feelings, of course not. I can still feel sad, 5 of Cups, but then I can also still take action. I can still have faith and hope and belief in my future that new and wonderful and beautiful things can happen. And that is also the promise of the 5 of Cups, because we have 2 cups that are still available. So, honor anything that may still be there that you're a little sad about, but also use this new moon in Cancer, your 5th house, to reset, reboot your joy. That's what this is about. So thank you so much for joining me for your new moon in Cancer tarot and astrology reading. Thank you so much for watching. If you got value out of the video and want to share it with other people, give it a thumbs up. That would be great. All that engagement really helps my channel and gets the messages out to more people here on YouTube. And check out your Jupiter Blessings reading, which has already been uploaded to the channel. I've also uploaded 3-month ahead summer solstice readings for everyone. So those are also all on the channel. And yeah, hit that bell, be subscribed. Lots more videos coming. So much happening that you don't want to miss it. So love you guys. Take care. I will see you again soon. Stella Wilde, signing out.